Hi guys, I hope Mental Health Awareness Week is going well for you. If you've seen me doing little green hearts and everything, that's because the green heart represents mental health. So, what else does this t-shirt represent? And some of you might have recognized it, but this is Luigi from Nintendo. So, let me introduce Luigi. So, this is my character, which I play. And I like to play Nintendo, and I've been playing Nintendo my whole life. And I thought it would be quite interesting to talk about computer games and the role they've played in helping me with anxiety. So I know a lot of the time people, not people, but there's reports that suggest that it can lead, lots of gaming can lead to depression and anxiety. But actually, if you get the right mix and you do limit yourself if you can, then it can actually really help with anxiety. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey with Nintendo. I'm going to tell you a particular story, but I'll just tell you how I became Luigi's, how I always play with Luigi. So basically, when me and my brother were really young, we were little children, our parents bought my brother a Nintendo for Christmas. So it was his Nintendo. Therefore, he was player one, Mario, and I became player two, Luigi. And it's always stayed like that. So now I wouldn't have it any other way. So let's just can we put Luigi here? Yes. Okay, so I played Luigi ever since. And we have, so I've grown up with him basically. And probably, I think after university, when I was first, working at the museum, and also when I worked in interior design, I didn't spend really any time playing on my Nintendo. And that's because I was studying, I was traveling, I was doing all sorts of stuff. So when I say traveling, I didn't go on like a gap where I went traveling, but for work, and also sometimes in my personal life as well. I was enjoying kind of getting out and about and seeing things. But then, so I left my job at the museum, and I'd been there for a long time. It was 6.5 years. So it was, a complete shift to start, like mental shift. Everything was new when I started a new job. And what happened was this job was just so stressful. I mean, it's extremely stressful anyway, but it was compounded by the fact that I had a colleague who was very aggressive, and she communicated through shouting, and she could be quite intimidating. So she was taller than the rest of us. And she'd kind of lean down, and she'd be very intimidating. And I'm not going to go into the ins and outs, but the effect that it had on me was that I used to travel into the city with my brother because we were both working in Mayfair, and he would go to work earlier than me. So I would find myself arriving at the office with time to spare. And normally I'd just go into, if it was anywhere else, would go into the office, sit down, hi, morning, get myself sorted. But I literally didn't want to spend 1 minute extra with this person than I was contracted to. So I'd actually sit on the doorstep and I'd wait until it was literally, time to go in. And then when it was lunchtime, I'd go for lunch, and I would literally just go for a walk for an hour. And I wouldn't be able to touch devices. I couldn't look at my phone. I put my music in, but I was literally so stressed out that lunchtime for me had to be a complete shutdown. And I'd just walk to the park, and I'd, buy a sandwich or something like that, and just take that, and say that I got as much time outside and in peace and quiet as possible. So this is obviously, it takes its toll on you working in that kind of environment, and it really did. And what I found is I had this kind of like, I rediscovered Nintendo. Because what happened is basically the Wii U came out. So this is my Wii U controller. So I got a Luigi Wii U controller, and always supporting Luigi. And they brought out Mario 3D, and it was just this really great game. And the difference between playing Mario when I was younger and playing Mario now is the fact that when I was younger, if you lost your lives or your lives, you were literally put back to the beginning, and it was just so stressful. Like that was the point where you would go to launch your controller at the TV, and you just have to start all over again. It was just unbelievable, and you spent all these hours getting to this point. So now what they've done, so with the Wii U, it's a lot more relaxing because you get saves and you can effectively keep going. And you know, it's also, the music is different. So in those early games the music was really pitchy, whereas now it's all kind of like melodic, and they've got some really good soundtracks. And what's the other thing? The visuals. So everything in 3D World, which is 3D World is the game that they brought out on the Wii U. Literally, it's like candy. So it's all these like light colors, and you're in a world with mushrooms and clouds. And in 3D World, I don't know if I mentioned, but you can be a cat. So you turn into a cat, and cats are my favorite. So this was just like pure escapism. And that's basically how I used to deal with and put aside that really stressful job. Instead of sitting there and worrying about today and tomorrow and just getting more and more anxious, I was undoubtedly going to be anxious, on the journey in, and I was not comfortable being there at all. But I put my career first, and I thought, I actually really loved the gallery side, and I thought it's just one person, so I'm not going to compromise my job for this one person, and I'm also not going to give her my evening and thinking about her as well. So I spent time with Luigi. And what some of the guys say, actually, so some gamers who really love the original stuff, they will say, oh, it's too easy now because you don't die and go back to the beginning and have to start again. But actually, I think it's a really great thing for computer games because, as I said, it used to be so stressful, whereas now it's like, if you're the kind of person who wants to play it like I did, to relax, to fill my mind with toadstools and clouds instead of other stuff. Sorry, Luigi. Other stuff. Then it's really great escapism. And if you're someone who is a completionist, so someone who really loves the challenge, then what Nintendo have actually done in this game, and we've moved on now, so we're playing Switch now, I'm just telling you about a particular time, but what Nintendo did with this game is they've made it so if you are a completionist, if you collect all the stars and, in this game it's all the coins and all the stamps, then you unlock a whole new world and a whole new, you go up in a rocket. So that means that, whereas if you're not like that, you might never ever know that that world existed. So I think that's how they I think personally that's how they range it out so it satisfies a lot more people. But one of the criticisms that comes about sometimes when people present research to suggest computer games are potentially a negative thing, you know, like they create depression and anxiety. What I'd say is that I think if your lifestyle, or say, you know, you're a younger person and at the weekend you don't have responsibilities, like, you know, which mean you have to go out and do these, you know, go out and fill your day, you might find you want to devote like hours to playing computer games. And again, Nintendo have started doing this. So they put warnings, not warnings, they put little messages up saying, you've been playing for an hour now, it's probably time for a tea break or a rest, or and I think that's really important, because I think it's the overexposure to that need to win, want to keep playing, want to keep going. I think that overexposure can lead you to maybe temporary anxiety, but maybe depression, because you're not going outside, you're not taking breaks. It's exactly the same when you're an adult and you do that, not just in computer games, but in all sorts of things like your job. You don't take a break, you work through your lunch hour, you take your work home, and then you work for several hours at home. You're doing the same thing to yourself. You're making yourself anxious. Overexposure to an activity or overexposure to this stress deadline. So I don't think we can really look at younger people and say, you've played computer games for hours, that's what your problem is, that's why you're all depressed. No, I mean, it really isn't. They're quite compulsive because they're so much fun and you want to keep achieving things. So what I would actually say is, if you're limited, like for example with me, I was at work all day, so I was probably only playing for about 2 or 3 hours at home, and I was, you know, I'd play a bit, have some dinner, come back, and I think it actually helped with my anxiety. It really gave me something else to think about, and it was because it's immersive. I had to immerse myself in making sure that Luigi was, you know, doing his job and getting to the end and winning. And if I don't give him my full attention, he's going to fall down a cliff, or he's going to it's okay, he regenerates, he comes back again, he's got loads of lives. So so that's the thing, it made me really happy. And then I was going to just mention, so I've got Luigi here, so I play Luigi and he's my amiibo, but there's 2 girl characters. Okay, so we've got Princess Peach and we've got Rosalina. Princess Rosalina, it's Rosalina. Okay, so Peach has always been around, and the problem I had with Peach, I never played Peach, and it's because she's like this princess who gets taken away by Bowser, who's this male, like, scary creature, and then she has to wait and go, Mario, Mario, and then Mario and Luigi, the 2 brothers, the plumbers, have to come and save her, and then she's okay. And I hated that format. As a female, I was just like, ugh. I'd rather we were saving like one of the toadstools or something like that, you know. I'm not interested in this woman that's, you know, got to be saved by these male characters, because I'm a female behind this. So I got really excited when Nintendo created Rosalina. So Rosalina has her own galaxy, and the Lumas are all, you know, they rotate around Rosalina, and well, she has her own world. So she's actually, I was really excited. And you unlock her if you're a bit of a completionist, if you're playing 3D and you collect everything, then you actually unlock Rosalina. So I play, if I'm not Luigi, I'm Rosalina. And so I was really satisfied with that, because it's a female character, and, you know, she's still in a dress and she's got her princess crown, but it's just the fact that, you know, she's not captured. She's actually this is her place that you're visiting. Okay, so we'll put her in front of Luigi. Okay, so who else do I have to show you? I have one more to show you. So I do actually like playing Link as well. So this is Zelda. And I don't play it as much, but you could get different amiibos of Link. So he's got different versions of himself. I got this one because, sorry, Luigi, but I thought the girls might like him. Anyway, I'm just going to show you how much I support Nintendo, how much I support Luigi and Mario. Okay, so I've got my special controller. When I went to Tokyo, I really wanted to get something. So I just got my little figures here. So I've got a little Mario in there. I think he's one of the only Marios that I own. So I only really collect Luigi. And we've got the coins in there. So a really relaxing aspect of Mario is collecting coins. And when you play with Rosalina's world, it's collecting stars. So I like the little sound when you collect them. That's quite nice. And then I have my socks. Now, I didn't buy my Mario Luigi socks. My brother bought them for me. And I'm really scared to wear them around because I don't want to get them dirty because they're perfect. They're pristine at the moment. And there's one more item I have to show you before I go. And this, again, this was bought for me. And my mum bought it for me. And I said, well, when am I going to wear that? What am I going to do? She said, you can wear it when you're gaming. I was like, I could wear it when I'm gaming. But I've just really put it on my chair and looked at it. And now I think it's time to wear it and show the internet. There you go, Luigi super fan. Where is he? Okay, so I've exposed myself to being a little bit of a fangirl, and that's because he's my character. Next time I see you, I might be wearing a crown and a ball gown. We'll see. But my message about computer games is a positive one. So they can be really enjoyable and they can be pure escapism. You really get taken into this world where you can, it's got this whole system of working. And if you play Mario 3D, so you can play it on the Wii U, but now they've got the Switch, which is out, so we play the Switch. And yeah, you can just really chill out with these guys. Okay, I hope you enjoyed having a look at my collection. And I'll look forward to seeing you again soon. And look after yourself. It's Mental Health Awareness Week, so let's be aware of our mental health and let's be aware of other people. So let's be mindful of other people's as well. So if you're communicating with someone, the best policy is probably not aggression and not shouting, because you can be an effective communicator, if not more so, by having a much more measured approach. So let's be kind to each other. All right then, bye guys. Be kind to me after wearing this hat.